Hi there, how are you? Today I'm going to teach you our curriculum development class, and it's already class number 5. So let's learn together. I'm really excited. Okay, so today we're going to talk about student-led conferences. Okay, we're going to talk about several different topics as we go through our content. So we're going to talk about student-led conferences. We're going to talk about older students. We're going to also talk about preschool and toddler age, and talk about how that could be done with the younger students as well. We're also going to talk about some of the upcoming assignments that we have to do and a video that we're gonna be turning in pretty soon. All right, so it's gonna be exciting. All right, so let's do this. Okay. I'm going to start with just, let me make sure that you can see my screen. Yes, you can. All right, so, okay. Let me do this, all right. Let me stop sharing. Let me share my screen. I'm going to share my PowerPoint. There you go. All right, so what are student-led conferences? So we have the traditional style conferences, right? So the parents come to school, they come to the center, and or the learning center or the regular, K-12 system, and they come and the teacher talks about, the student, and that's it. They receive the information about the student and the learning, and there's not a lot of that connection, that back and forth that, that we could see. So one of the ways that you could go about conferences with the parents is having it be done through the student. So that's what we call student-led conferences. And again, remember, make sure that you have something to take notes with, paper, pen, a pencil, highlighter, go ahead and do that, all right? So don't forget to take a few notes. So student-led conference is similar to a parent-teacher conference, but the student is present and is in charge of leading the discussion. So the student's gonna be the one showing his or her learning, all right? During the conference, the students share their portfolios of work and discusses progress with family members. So that means that student is in charge, right? So that's really good because then the teacher gets to watch and see what, the student is capable of doing and sharing, and then the parents might have questions and the teacher is there to answer, of course, but it puts the student at the center of the whole process, which is really great. It's very empowering, right? And the third point is student-led conferences can be implemented at all grade levels, K all the way to 12. And I would even extend that to even toddler age, right? Why can't they do that? That's possible. All right, what are the benefits of student-led conferences? So that leads us to the next slide. So increased parent involvement is number 1. Since student-led conferences directly engage students, parents are more likely to actively participate. That's true, because they really want to know what their child, right, or their children have to say. So they're actively participating, they're listening, they're there, they know that the kid is supposed to be sharing something, so they're gonna most likely be there. They're not gonna be absent, right? Number 2, boosted student confidence and engagement. Student-led conferences can reframe the learning experience and get you to invest in their own learning. They are so excited to share. They will probably be there for that. They want to be there. They will probably be like, Mom, you have to come. Dad, you have to come. This is my special day. And they'll most likely prepare, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. And it's when you're like, okay, let's make something special to share. Let's prepare the room, or let's prepare the space. And kids really feel that something really special is going on. They feel really special themselves, right? That's what you want. The third one is enhanced student achievement. When students are included in the conversation, they understand they need to be actively involved in their own academic and social progress. That's huge. The next one is more information for teachers. Asking students to interact with their teachers and parents can give new insights that allow teachers to make the learning environment more effective. So that's huge. If you still were thinking about this, if it's like a total new concept, read this slide again, pause this video, read those 4 bullet points again. What is it that you haven't tried yet? You might want to try from all those 4 bulleted points. Look at that. The active engagement, having kids being better in the learning, them knowing their academic progress, interacting with parents and the teachers. So think about that, all right? Now, how student-led conferences benefit teachers? How do they benefit teachers? So meeting with parents in a low-stress environment, that is number 1. Anytime I had my students do student-led conferences, I felt that the environment was so relaxing. I got to play music. I wish I had done videos of when I had those student-led conferences, because it was really a moment to relax. So the first bullet is meeting with parents in a low-stress environment, right? Student-led conferences lead to better relationships with parents, since meetings can be more casual and they don't always have to talk about specific problems, because usually you're leading with, oh, this is what your son or daughter already knows. So you're thinking about what they already have. And then of course you can address the things that they need to work on. You can, as a teacher, you can sit down and bring up, work that needs to be finished, or things that they can do at home. Of course, you can do that, right? But it's going to be a lot more relaxing in that environment. Then insight into the parent-student dynamic. Teachers can observe and understand what kind of support students have at home. Also, students that are bilingual. For example, I had a student that spoke Vietnamese. The mom only spoke Vietnamese. So the student herself served as a translator, and she was able to help communicate her own performance and learning goals to the mom, and I was able to help out. Now, I was able to also make a phone call and have the sister, the older sister, translate some of the more academic words. Now, there are services that you can call that can translate into many different languages: Chinese, Laotian, all languages of the world, all sorts of dialects. You can find those services over the phone, so it's really cool. But the student in front of you can help and can serve as a translator as well, depending on the age. That can be really cool, and that helps you with the insight on that, into that dynamic, that parent-student dynamic. Now, the third one is better relationships with students. Because you understand them better, you can help them better. So student-led conferences help students realize teachers are an active partner in their learning journey. Huge. Now I have this next one. What are the roles in student-led conferences? So what are the students doing? What are the parents doing? What is the teacher doing, right? Or teachers. So students are to facilitate the discussion. So they will help start that discussion. They show their work, they communicate their learning goals with their parents. For this to be effective, the teachers need to devote some of their class time to prepare the students ahead of time. You have to help them put their folders, portfolios together, maybe trifold, posters, maybe put the wall, the work on the walls, maybe have some sort of preparation done ahead of time. It takes time, yes, but it's so rewarding. It's wonderful. Now, parents, their role, so parents need to come prepared to listen and talk with their child. That's all. It's really easy. They just need to show up and be ready. Use parent evenings or newsletters to explain what a student-led conference is. So you can send a letter, say, hey, we're going to do this for the first time. And this is what you should expect. You should expect to come and see your child present. So please, your child should come with you. And so, and when and where the conference is taking place. So they need to know, where it is and when it is, so they can make sure that they are there. And then third, the teachers, what are their roles, right? So we're there to facilitate the discussions and act as a mediator between parents and students. They're also responsible for making sure the student is prepared for the conference, and often act as the first point of contact for parents for parent questions. All right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, so now for this one, we're going to watch this video about a kindergartner doing a student-led conference. Okay, so I'm going to share my other screen. Let me see, right here. Let me see if I can find that. Okay.
Ashe, Ashe, Funwa Lavia, Ashe, Ashe, Funwa Lavia, Ashe. My name is Trinity. I'm in kindergarten and my school is called Delaware Elementary School. We welcome you with our words. We welcome you with our hearts.
First thing that our students do is they greet their parents or whoever is there to listen to their learning.
And we say do like a high five, handshake, or a hug.
I'll do a high five.
The second thing we do is our welcome song. Ashe, Ashe.
To get kindergartners ready for their student-led conference,
Here are two of my reading strategies.
there you go. We just take it a little bit by little. Students will share their learning targets before they talk about each page that they are sharing.
I can demonstrate how to use picture clues when reading. It's a dragonfly.
How do you know that's a dragonfly?
Because a dragonfly has these things. I can stretch outwards to hear all the sounds. Egg, g, egg, g, egg. To do a student-led conference, you can be in first grade, second grade, or third grade, or fourth grade, or fifth grade, or you can be in kindergarten. I can find the sum of two numbers. We put it dots to make it equal the 7. Since I taught you, may you do one. Whatever kind of grade you're in.
I use any two numbers?
10 plus 10. You have to practice and learn how to do your conferences before you do it, and your teacher can help you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We practice for our conferences in our classrooms. We do a fishbowl. I showed the students what it would look like and what it will sound like. And then a student will do a fishbowl, and student will share their learning and do their portfolio for the class.
20. Did I do it right? Okay, cool. Thank you.
Final draft of a monarch. These are the things to make the monarch. Focus, eyes, symmetry. One side is like the other side, and the wings, the body parts, antennas, and legs. What I like about it is the colors because it looks beautiful. And to fix this, I needed to show symmetry because I think this one is smaller than that one.
The last thing they will talk about is their science. So we've done scientific drawings and their learning and how they got to that final draft. They are in insect expert groups.
My insect expert group is Ladybug.
And they will share their scientific drawings and their learning so far.
Head, thorax, and abdomen. This is kind of squiggly, but we're going to do another one. The states has 3 types of ladybugs. They are red and orange and yellow.
So that was our first draft, right? So what would you like to work on for your next draft?
Do finger spaces.
Okay. That's a great goal.
You will practice and practice to get really better. Thank you for coming to my student conference. Do you have any questions? And then you can tell about what do you do to get better and better. And you can tell them all about it.
Good.
All right. So now, just kind of looking at this, just watching this video, I was just thinking, what a great example, right? It's amazing how a little girl in kindergarten can explain what she's learning. So do you see the power in that? Like the teacher didn't really say much, but the parents were listening. The girl felt so empowered. She was smiling the whole time. She was so excited and she was super academic about it. Now, if that was the case, let's say they were Spanish speakers or Arabic speakers or, Russian speakers or any other language, just see the power in that. They could be speaking their own language and also communicating about their learning goals and translating for their parents. That would be awesome. So as students go, up the grades, then they grow older. They actually, they don't need the teacher sitting right by them. They're able to follow a script. You can have a checklist for them, and they share specific things in a specific order, and they get more independent as they go. So that's really great to think about and to teach them to do that. So it's really great. So I have done, in my experience also, when I taught 4th grade, to have this done at the gym. You could have all 4th graders do that, and it becomes like a big event. You can have music playing, so it becomes really, like informal. You could also do that in your classroom, but have different stations for kids to be doing that, and the teacher walks around and sits down with parents, so you can have multiple students doing that at the same time, so it becomes even less formal. So those are just some ideas for you to think about. All right, now preschool student-led conferences, what would that look like, right? So teachers can set up learning stations instead of portfolios. If the kids are very little, you could also have learning stations throughout the room for the kids to go through and show their parents what they can do. So it could be more hands-on. That's a great idea, right? How can you adapt to make it more relevant? So the learning station should include writing their name. That could be an option. Identifying numbers, recognizing letters of the alphabet, sorting shapes, and pinpointing colors. That is wonderful, right? So you're building on what they have. Of course, you're not only limited to those ideas. Those are just initial thoughts on how that could be done. But you could really highlight anything that the kids are able to do, right? You could have a music and movement station where they can have certain things that they have to do. Maybe they can hop and jump and do certain things. Maybe they can have, a station all about, their cooking projects, cooking class projects. They can have their sensory table where they can explain to parents what they've been exploring. So those are things that you can just embed throughout. There's science corner, there's social studies corner. You can just make it amazing. And let's not forget the art corner that kind of ties it all together and make it all visual for the parents, right? So those are amazing ways to go about it. And of course, they're going to have their goals and learning goals, like their portfolio in a way that parents can take home, maybe a sheet of paper that they can take home, something that would be more informative for them to really feel like, oh, I took something home with me, or maybe some sort of newsletter for the following month, or a bag of books, depending on where you work. Maybe kids in that particular learning center or school need to be reading more, or you're working in a particular project or theme, and you want them to get kind of learn about that topic, so you can kind of start working on the next unit already and get the parents on board. So those are just some ideas for you during parent conferences. All right, so now the question is, I mentioned portfolio. So one of the things that since mid-2019, we are trying to incorporate now for the early learning centers, is the idea of portfolios. You have to be meeting with parents twice a year, reporting on their performance, right? Just kind of like K-12, but the preschools and early learning centers and daycares, they have to be reporting to parents, and they have to be somehow communicating their learning. So how do you develop students' portfolios? So student portfolio is a central element of successful student-led conferences. So portfolios vary based on the format of the conference, but they usually include a selection of students' work from throughout the year, right? So a collection of the best pieces, an agenda for the meeting for that particular day, and then also sheets for setting social and academic goals for that student. So those are just some ideas that you can just kind of have on how that portfolio could of that portfolio, what that could have, right? It's not difficult to put together. You just have to really think, okay, so what are the things that I am teaching the students? What are my learning goals? How can I show the parents in an easy way? So what should be included in the portfolio? So a cover page is number one, right? It's kind of like a pretty cover page. Then some student goals, academic and behavior, personal goals. So what is that particular child working on? For example, let's say that child cannot share toys. So that's a good goal, right? For that particular child. That might be a behavior goal or a social emotional goal, but maybe that particular child doesn't know how to write the letter B, or doesn't know how to count from 1 to 10. So it can be different goals. It can be academic, behavior, personal. So, or personal could also be needs to call the teacher when he or she needs to go to the restroom. Those are specific goals, and they're very, very small sometimes, but for children, they're very little, right? Or, sorry, they might be little for an adult, but they might be very big for a child. So you got to have those there, and those are conversations to have with the parents too. And the child, when they come in to present, those are really good things. They can say, oh, mommy, daddy, those are the things I'm working on. And as they say those goals, they become so empowered, right, to share and make those changes. All right? All right, so another important piece is having work pieces that the student worked especially hard on. So special pieces of work, because they will feel very excited to share that. So they're masterpieces. Then pieces of each subject. So you should have something for writing, math, science, and so a variety of pieces. Then data graphs, we'll talk more about that in a second. Dividers or sleeves, so some paper-based, kind of material, so you can kind of have dividers. And then you also should have digital file or e-portfolios, editable pages. So you would have something that you could, in the computer, change it up digitally, that you could change as you go and change for each of the students, right? So paper-based would be like you can change it as you go. It could be something annotate, you observe and you have like a sticky note, you have a clipboard, and then you could also do that in the computer with your editable, files. Those are really good because they save you time, and you can do that, during your planning time or at home. And you and the other teachers can share different formats at your school, different ways that you do that. All right. Now, how to prepare students for student-led conferences, right? How to prepare students to lead their conferences. So prepare binders or folders, gather materials to share evidence of learning. So you have to prepare those folders every day. Every day is a day to save a piece of work that is great. Tell the students, we're going to save this one for your portfolio. Tell them what they're doing, and then have them help, okay? Have a specific place where they put that work aside. Set personal learning goals and choose areas to improve weekly, every time, constantly. Because if you don't know where you're headed with your learning, there is no way that you're going to actually learn. So imagine if you, as a student, taking classes at the college right now, if you were not aware of why you were taking a class, why would you learn? Why would you go to school? Why would you continue to do your assignments? You wouldn't. So you need to know why you're learning something so that you can keep on working, right? Ongoing. That's like the objective of something. So tell your students why they're learning. Now, the next one is help students feel secure in talking about their learning. Even if they don't know everything, it's okay to be vulnerable and not know everything, right? Set expectations. Say, I want you to do this. Show examples and have them work towards those goals, right? The expectations. Facilitate student reflection. So have them sit down and look at everybody else's work and talk about their own work. It's so important to be reflective. Allow time for students to practice their presentation. As the video talked about, the fishbowl was basically them observing somebody else presenting their work and looking at how the teacher was doing that facilitation and the student and the parents, some sort of like example. So allow them to practice and see what it would look like. And invite parents and share a protocol with the families so that when they come in, they're prepared, okay? It's very important to be prepared because they will not know. And some of the families will be like, oh, but I thought the teacher was gonna share with me. No, but if they know in advance, they know ahead of time, they won't be disappointed because they knew ahead of time why they're doing that and they know the benefits of it. So another thing you can do is go online and find, or in our book, in our textbook, and find benefits of student-led conferences. What does research say about the student-led conferences? There's a lot of great benefits. And student-led conference goals, look at that. What you have there, examples of folders. Just take a minute to look at those images. You have a conference folder on top. There's a student self-reflection. Take a minute to do that, to look around. There's the save the date conference reminder. At the top of your screen, you can see like the dividers for your portfolio. Okay, so you see like a cover, the student self-reflection sheet, the goals for math, reading, others, and then other information data that you can have. On the right side, top right, you see save the date conference reminder sheet. And then just kind of a couple different ones, so you can send several times. At the bottom, you can see, so bottom left, you can see like a data tracker for sight words. It can be math words. It can be any kind of test records. Then you have a digital portfolio example at the bottom right here, like a writing reflection. And then you have samples of the agenda to get the sequence of the conference. For example, welcome, top 5 things about me, my academic reflection, something I'm proud of, questions, right? And then on the all the way to the right, you have like start here, and then you can kind of have a visual for them to kind of follow. That's super easy for students. It gives them a visual, and it's really effective and beautiful, right? So the next slide would be a data binder, which is really cool, right? It's self-explanatory. So you'd have student data, and you would keep everybody's information there. There would be confidential, so you would have, you know, access to all the time during the conference. You would share with the parents and guardians the information, and that would guide your instruction. So that would be good. Now, for example, for my daughter, I have an example of her portfolio. So I created for her a little portfolio with her name and then her photo, and then I named it Learning Portfolio. So as a parent, I keep her work inside this folder, and I have like April, I have the months, and I put her work inside this folder as she brings them home. So as a parent, it helps me organize the work. So as a teacher, you can suggest to the parents that they can also create something like this to keep the work that you collect after the conference. So you can send the work home, and then the parents can keep that work somewhat organized, because after the conference, then what do you do with the work? You can send it home, and the parents can collect that work as a form of, you know, evidence, some sort of folder or beautiful display or whatever way that they want to do that. But you can model the way it looks, right? And so it's kind of cool for me as a parent to have this kind of information. And then I even put like my Mother's Day sheet all about mom, things like, for example, my mom's favorite color is pink. Well, it's actually black, but that's what she thinks about me. Or those are so awesome, because those are things that I will have forever as part of evidence for my daughter's learning, and part of what she has, acquired as part of her learning process and the experiences with school. So it's kind of cool to see that, and then have a place to organize. So you as a teacher, you can tell the parents, hey, this is what we're going to send home after the conference. You can keep it this way. Or the school can decide to purchase some folders or binders or and things like that to give the parents as a model or of a way to keep that all organized. All right. Okay, so organizing student data, it was the next thing that I talked about. And that can be really organized. You can organize it by subject, right? The data can be math, reading, writing, it can be art, social emotional learning, music and movement. That will keep you organized as far as, okay, those are the learning goals. And then a checklist. What has that child learned, and what is it that he or she has not yet? Okay, that's important. Report cards. That's huge. So the purpose of a report card is to inform a child's parents of his or her academic progress during the school year, right? So many parents consider it the most important document that they receive from the school. So as a parent, if you're a parent already, do you think that this is the most important document that you receive from the school? So if you're working on learning, early learning center, and you're not sending a report card home, how do you think your parents feel? So could you create maybe something similar to a report card. It doesn't have to be a super formal report card, but could it be some sort of performance, oriented document that could show that student's performance in a way that would be like informative to the parents. So think about that. So those are some of the examples that I have on this slide. I have reading readiness on the left side, math concepts, fine motor skills, art, music, or PE. If you are in a religious context, like it says Bible right there, character development, and so on and so forth. So science, social studies, language, math, like you can tailor it to your context. But as an educator, you need to be aware that parents will have that expectation, right? Now, comments are more important most of the time than the grade itself. So although grades provide parents with student progress for a specific subject matter, it is the conversations, and the comments on those report cards that actually will inform and guide the child's education. So make sure that you are providing them with a summary of what is going on at school, and that you're communicating. Sometimes you don't have to wait for the report card season. Just make a phone call, talk to the parent at the door, make that communication really, really strong. You might not speak the same language. That might be something that you're worried about. Have somebody translate, have the student help with that communication. Okay, Google Translate, you can get creative with that, all right? But don't let that, be something that, don't let that hinder you. Don't let that make you not communicate with those parents, because that's the most important thing, okay? Is communication about performance, about learning goals, about how things are going, because that is your main job, is to make sure the kids are learning, all right? And that the parents know, because if they don't know, what's the point, right? All right, so let's watch this video. Okay, this is Mrs. Miranda, and she's going to share with you guys a video about her report cards, okay? She teaches second grade at Emerson Elementary School. She's gonna show you a little bit about report cards at the elementary level, all right?
This short video, I'm going to show you the part of the report cards. Starting here with the information of the student and what grade level is, the school year, who are the teachers, and what program the student is at. It also shows you the attendance, how many times per trimester the student was absent in the morning or in the afternoon, and how many times the student was late. On this side, you can see the school information, phone number, principals, and how many pages the report card has. We have the grading key. This part is important because we show how we grade the standards with numbers, but the learning behaviors are graded with symbols. So you can see how the parents can understand, even if the teacher cannot explain it in person. The parents can see the key to understand the performance of their kiddos. In this part here, we have space for teacher comments, and I always write down the comments in Spanish because my students' parents are monolinguals. Now, this is the part where we show the language arts. So these are based on the Common Core standards, but they are in a friendly language, so parents can understand. And in this side, you can see again the grades for every trimester. And here we have a sentence that says, is the student on level in reading? and we can type yes or no. You can see the progress the students are making. And again, you have the comments in the bottom. So for math, it's the same. We have the standards in a friendly language, and they are divided by categories. And then we have here the gradings for every unit or lessons. The students have assessments. Here are the comments. And when I do the comments, I like to show the parents what is the percentile expected and what is the student at in the moment, and I like to show them exactly what things the students are struggling with, what things they are doing good. Try to do less and we start with a good comment, say something to improve, and then end it out with a good comment again. We also grade science. For science, we don't put standards. We have, in this case, we only have the main topics and the space for the teacher comments. And that is all I want to share with you today.
That was excellent, because that gave us a little bit of an insight on what kids have been, working on, what standards were important for, throughout the year, and what things the parents were going to see during their conferences. Or even if they don't have a conference, when the parents receive the report card, they can see clearly what the expectations were for students. So it's really great. So for the early learning, environment, so we have to make sure that we have something not as complex, but it could be something simpler that also would be very informative and would allow parents to know that we're doing a really good job showing what the kids are learning. And that would be aligned with your units, your lesson plans. All the way on top, when you have your unit plan, you would have those objectives for your lesson for your week. And every week you have new objectives. By the end of your unit, you have a full, scope of the whole of that whole unit. Those would be the objectives that you would have in that report card. So maybe when you create your full unit plan, your 4 weeks, you could add those objectives maybe in the form of a report card or a performance sheet for parents for reporting for conferences. That could be part of that too. Just an idea for you as well. All right. We have next assignments. We have week 3 unit plans coming up. We also have, so that unit plan, remember, you're not to create something new with a different topic. You are to continue week 1's plan, 2, and now it's week 3 already. So you're going to continue with the same idea. And it's going to be great because you're going to tie everything together when you finish week 4. And then by the end of week 4, you're going to create this whole great unit plan with all those 4 weeks together. My suggestion is that you put it all into one document and you create a cover, have your name or names if you're doing it with a partner, that you have a list of materials and supplies needed for that full unit so that we can share as a bank of lessons. Have newsletters that need to be sent home to parents. Also the list of books, so all the literacy materials. So the books, the authors, the cover pages, so that we know what those books look like, if it's fiction or nonfiction. Also, maybe even if you have the objectives for those lessons, right? Because that's what you do first for each of those unit plans. For that unit, the big unit, you would have that at the end as maybe like a report card or a checklist to share with parents during conferences. Just think about that, or maybe something for a student-led conference. So I wanted you to use the information that you gained today from this presentation to kind of, make your unit plan better. All right. So now I want just to kind of add to everything that I've been saying so far. If you turn in an assignment in the Dropbox, did you know that you can resubmit your assignment and your professor will see it? Because you resubmit the assignment. Let's say you submit a version of your assignment, then you were like, oh, I want to add something. You can go back and add. It would be good if you could email your professor and say, I had to add something, or you message on Canvas when you resubmit it. Say, I forgot to add this, or I didn't submit the latest version. You can always redo it. But when you submit the final version on week 10, you can just make sure to, have the best, version of the whole unit plan with all the objectives and parent involvement pieces, and, the letter to parents and all that, the newsletter and all that. Just think about how you're going to wrap this all together into one. All right, so that's coming up. Now, the next thing that I want you to know is that you're going to record a video of yourself. Yes, you heard that right. You're going to record and submit a video lesson featuring some content integration. You're like, what are you talking about? So for class number 6, okay, class number 6 is when you're going to be recording and submitting a video lesson. So the way I would like you to do that, you can use your phone to record a video lesson. Another way you could do it, if you have Zoom installed in your computer or your phone, you could Zoom with yourself if you wanted, and you could pretend you're presenting, you're like having a meeting with yourself and record it using the computer or your phone, but just a regular video on your phone will do, okay? If you are in a school, you could record yourself with students. Make sure that you're not showing their faces. It can be just the back of the students. This video is not going to be shown to anybody, so don't worry about that. I want you to feature content integration. So you're gonna be thinking like, how can I combine 2 or 3 or more things into one video? For example, if I am teaching a science lesson, how can I connect literacy and science? For example, can I show a video of myself teaching a lesson, maybe reading a science book? So I'm reading, right? And I'm doing science, so a science topic as I'm reading a story. So I'm reading science book to my students. I'm doing a read aloud using a science book. Yes, that's content integration. Another example would be you're doing a math lesson, but you're focusing on teaching the vocabulary for math. Teaching what the words mean, and you're doing, talking about the definitions of the words, and you have images to go with that. You can do music and movement, and you can add literacy and talk about the words for those movements or the music, the lyrics. Remember the example from our video for class number 2, when I talked about what curriculum was and what was not. I said it's not a box of books. When I taught you how to actually lesson plan, I was talking about music and movement, and I talked about a chant. And I had this whole song about seeds. Seeds here, seeds there, seeds everywhere. And then we had images of the seeds and the water, and then I went over the words, and I had highlighted the words with seeds several times, and then I had images to go with those. This is how you integrate. You're teaching science content through literacy, because it's a song, it's a chant, and you're including visuals. So you're doing some sort of artistic musical component. So that is what I'm looking for. We're looking for a way that you're going to do things together. Then you can also do, like going down the list that you have on your screen, social studies, also combined with literacy, math, other ways, or a STEM lesson, that would be science, technology, engineering, math, Maybe you're building something, maybe a model, like you're building like a bridge made out of, you know, uncooked noodles and marshmallows, and the kids are going to do that. If you don't have kids with you, you can pretend that you're going to do that with kids, and you're going to give them the directions on how to do it. You're the teacher, so you're going to teach that lesson, all right? STEAM, it's the science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So add the art there. Social emotional development, combine that with literacy, maybe a story about that, about somebody that needs to make friends, or just be creative. ESL or dual language, maybe combining two languages or more. And then you can combine social emotional learning or other topics. Environmental education, reduce, reuse, recycle. It could be taking care of our planet. I don't know. You can be very creative. Art, and then at the end of the list, I have technology at the bottom of the list. You can be more creative than that list. You can wow us, me and your professors, okay? So just do your thing and have fun with it. How long is the video? You can do a 5-minute video, 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be very long. Now, what is gonna be difficult is the way that you're gonna turn it in, right? Because you're like, how am I going to turn this in? Sometimes it's hard to turn it in because on Canvas, it's gonna be like, oh, the video is too large. So I have this video right here for you, and I'm gonna play it. It's a 10-minute video, so I'm gonna play it all the way. It can also be found on my channel. It's called How to Upload a Video to YouTube and Share a Link on Canvas. Right, I recorded the other day, and it shows you step by step on how to do that. So I'm gonna play it for you, and so you can follow those steps. So you can go from your phone to the computer, and from the computer to YouTube. I find that going to YouTube, from YouTube, in sharing the link with your professor in your class is the easiest way to go about it. If you're trying to just upload your video to Canvas, it's oftentimes too large and it's tough, all right? It's just not gonna work most of the time. So watch this video right now, and then at the end of the video, I'm just gonna stop, and then I'll see you next time. So remember, due next week, you have week 3 of lesson planning, and then get ready to present a little lesson. It doesn't have to be something very difficult. It can be a circle time activity. It can be something that you know how to do very well, all right? Just get creative. So get ready to watch this, and see you soon. Hi there. Today I'm going to share with you how to upload a video to YouTube. And that's gonna make your life so much easier because you can record any videos for your assignments, and then you can upload them to YouTube and then share the link with your professor or your classmates, and your life is gonna be so much easier because a link is so much faster to share than sharing a big file, right? So I'm gonna share that with you right now. Are you ready? All right, so I'm gonna share my screen with you so that you can see. All right, so I'm going to share this page. Okay, so I'm going to go to Google, right here, and I'm going to just type YouTube. It is really simple. The first step is to, number 1, you can see that what my daughter watches, right? On my YouTube, she watches all sorts of cartoons. So here, you can see my face right there on the right side. This is my channel, so I created an account. So the first thing you have to do, you have to create an account for yourself, okay? So I created my channel. So this is my channel right here. You can see that I have a few uploaded videos already. So I upload all my videos that I present, I upload over there. So what you would do after you create your account, usually you have to have a Gmail account. Gmail accounts are free. So you create a Gmail account. Once you have your YouTube, you'll add a little picture right here. See? I just have 9 subscribers, so you can subscribe to my channel if you would like. All right? It'll be cool. So then you see all the videos that I have uploaded at any time. So it's cool. Anytime I upload something, you get a notification. So here you are going to click. So you have your chat. So you have your email done. So you have a Gmail account. And then you have a YouTube account connected with that Gmail. And then you're good to go. So here you're going to click this create a video or post. You click that plus upload a video. It's so easy, you guys. And then it's going to take you to this. See, I'm going to move my little screen. And then it says drag and or drop videos files to upload. So I'm going to select my file. So let's pretend that I'm going to upload a video that is on my downloads. Let me see. I'm going to upload. Let me find the video real fast. Okay, this video right here. Okay, I'm gonna push open. And so it's gonna show right there, see? It's uploading. And then the title, I'm gonna title my video. I'm gonna say, read aloud. And I'm going to call it the name of the book. Let's pretend I did the read aloud for The Princess and the Frog by Jimmy Curtis. I'm making it up, okay? And then I can say description. In this video, I explain how to do a read aloud for preschoolers, and then I write anything I want to write, right? So here you can see it's going to say thumbnail. Thumbnail is going to be the little image when people see your video. It's going to show something that's going to automatically do for you. But if you don't like what you see, you can always add a little image. That's what it's going to show to people. And then you can select a playlist. That means it's going to put your video in a folder, like category. So I have a few. I have equity and social justice. I have like curriculum development. I have phonics lessons. I could say, I could create a new playlist and say, read aloud, right? And I create. And so then it's right down here, and I'll click, so because I want that video to go to that folder. So I click that, push done. And it's not made for kids because I don't want it to be like, I don't want my daughter watching cartoons and then that video pops up for her because she's not gonna wanna watch it. So I put not made for kids. It's appropriate for kids, but it's not made for kids. And then see this link right here? So my video is already there. Pretend that this is my video. And then this is my video link. This is what you're gonna share with your professor. Okay? So here's this. You can copy video link. You can also play right here.
Do you love school?
See right there? This is the video that came from my phone. And so you can click on that, and then you can copy, and you push next. I'm gonna ask if I wanna add any screens at the end or cards. I usually don't add anything. I can ask if I want to save or publish. I usually have it public, because if you put as private, then people are gonna need a link, a specific link, and it's a little complicated. So I usually have it public, but for people to find your video, it's really, really rare that they would find it. So if it's something that you really don't mind, I would say have it public. If you want to do it private, you can, but just know that it might be a little difficult for people to access, including your professor. So it's up to you, all right? I usually do it public because I don't mind, and then you can just put save and publish. Here's again, if you need that link, this is the link for your video. You're getting published on YouTube. push publish. That's going online. See right there? And then I can share the link. I can put it on Facebook. I can blog about it. I can put it on Pinterest. I can do all that and then close. So here we go. So then I have my list. See all my stuff? All my videos that I've posted are here. If I go to my channel, okay, I have my dashboard on the side. Here's my video. If I copy paste that link over here, I can watch the video. See?
Do you love school?
See? So it is just so simple. So then you would go to Canvas right here. See? And you could open a new Word document. You could say, you could open a new document. And you could just name it, can you see my screen? Let me make sure that you can still see my screen. And I would put like read aloud link. Then you would put it there, copy paste there. Of course, put your name. I would say Angela Johnson. I would put read aloud assignment. And then the link. And I would save it as read aloud Angela Johnson, because that's your name. You put your name, right? And then save it onto your folder wherever you save your stuff. Save, so you know where it's at. Then to turn in your assignment, right? You go to, let me make sure that you can still see my screen. Yes. So you would go to your class, any class that you're turning this, you know, to, or maybe if any class that you have to turn in an assignment as a video, like a lesson plan, lesson presentation, a read aloud, whatever it is. See right here, you can do upload read aloud video and uploading read. No, this is my video. So let's see. I need a Dropbox. Sorry, I need a Dropbox. Dropbox for your read aloud video upload. You can click right here. Actually, let me make sure that I have student view so you can see what it looks like to you. So then you would see right here, Dropbox for your read aloud upload. And right here, see right there, it says submit assignment. It's gonna say browse. Then you're gonna go to where you saved it. I put it under documents. My assignment on Word, because I saved my link there. I could just upload my video if it wasn't too big, right? But I did do the link from YouTube. And then submit. Done. Right? If I made a mistake, I can just go here and resubmit my assignment the same way. Here are the instructions for this assignment. How to record. How to talk to the camera. All right? Okay, so this is it for me. I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. All right? All right, so have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.